Hi, this is Dimond and you are watching Salesforce Global Search Utility. In this video, we are going to see how does this global search works and what are the capabilities it has. So, using this global search, you can search those objects record which are not accessible by any users, and you can use them in different purpose to reference to create reference record of this record which you have searched. So this is one two role hierarchy. We are going to demonstrate this video based on the role hierarchy. We have these two users with two different role hierarchy. So if any users create record will not be visible to other users, and the account OWD has been set to private. So these are the different accounts we have, and these are the owner of these accounts. Now this test user, if we going to log in using this user, and go to this global search page and search this person account where the owner is user 2 and the login user is user 1. Same as business. Now same as business account, now we can search those business account which are not accessible by these users. So you can see these are the different owner of this business accounts, and we can do search again. Now for this account, if we click which is owner is Demont, so this account is not accessible, but we can do search. Now we can use this business account for different applications as well. Okay, so for this account we can assign this, we can change the ownership, and now we can view. Now for this account which is not accessible to this test user, after we do global search and assign to this user by clicking assign to me, we can view the account easily. So this is one of the most important application of global search. And using this global search also, we can add multiple search criterias like account type or different account fields, customer standards. So based on specific account type we can do search, and we can search using this account type where it will return records of different owners. Now this another functionality we have implemented here is the exact match and content search. So using this exact match and content search, the search will be like this. So if you place exact match, it will not return. So if we place the correct word full name, then if we do the search, then it will return the return record. Okay, so this is how we can add multiple search criterias for global search utility. Now this account, if we do the search using the content search, it will return. And if we do the exact search, exact match search, then it will return only. Okay, so this is how we can add multiple search criterias for this global search utility. Okay, so this is another application for global search where we can access the account details using the search defined fields and assign the ownership to me. Now we can view the account. So I hope the global search utilities is now clear. Now for person account also we can see the owner record, which is different, which is not accessible to me, to this user, but I can see multiple fields defined by developer. Okay, now I'm going to log in using another user, test user 2, and go to this account. Now where we can use this global search functionality, we have these two accounts. One is person account and its parent is CodeMania Inc. So only these two accounts are visible to this user. Now if we go to this global search again and do the search for this user, user 2, we can see this user can also access all the records which is not accessible to this user. Now if we do the person account search, it can also access its own record. So this is the person account. Now for Jordan James have parent as CodeMania Inc. Now if this user wants to change the parent of this account, whether it does not have right, so they use this functionality which is called data change request. So in this data change request, it can search those accounts which is not belong to this user or which is not accessible to this user. So for example, this person account was working on this CodeMania Inc. now have moved to another company. So this record need to be updated. So this user will raise the request which is called data change request, and using this global search utility, it will do the search for those business account. And we can use parameterized search. We can implement parameterized search, which has been implemented here. So you can see for these two lookups, it searching the business account and person account. So for example, it has moved to this account. Okay, so this account is not accessible, or its owner is different owner. So it will raise the request that this James Jordan has moved to this Burlington Textiles Corporation of America, and it will go through the approval. So approver approve this request, and using the web service or any data service, it will do the processing or rejection. So using the external API, this account will be updated. Okay, so this another application we can use global search utility. So to update that account, the integration user will go to this data change request and will see what are the request has been raised, and based on the request it will do the update using the integration service. So here I am doing the manual update, but obviously it can use Informatica or any data service to do the updation. Okay, so this is how, or it can or a developer can write batch job nightly basis, which will run nightly basis, and will read this data change request and do the update. So this is how this global search utility can be applied to implement the data change request application. Okay, so now the request has been approved and processed. So we can see that accounts owner parent has been changed, but still not accessible to this user. So user go to this global search function, global search utility page, and do the search. In the business account section and paste it and do the exact match. So once it's returned, it select and assign to me. So this can be used for territory as well, not only role. If this user is out of this account is out of territory of this current user, you can do the search as well. So now you can see the owner has been changed and accessible to this user as well. So these are the utility of this global search. Now in our next slide we are going to explain how we implement this functionality. All the codes and everything has been explained. Now another capability has been implemented in this video is that dynamic column. So you can see that we are searching for person account. Okay, on change of this select list or this pick list value, the columns has been changed and now display the business account columns. So these capabilities has also been implemented in this video. Okay, so you can also search using the based on criteria and the display result will be shown properly. For person account also you can see the columns are different, so you can do the search using exact or contain, but the result column will be shown dynamically. So this functionality has been implemented in this video and you can see the data change request which updated this person account. Now we can do the search using the parent account also. So you can see the search result remains same. So this is how we implemented this functionality. In our next slide we are going to demonstrate now to implement this functionality, global search for Salesforce, global account search for Salesforce, which has we have created this page and the controller, and this div tag has been added to display this section. Now this is the controller with this constructor. Now the architecture of this solution has been developed this way that we have created one custom settings to store the fields for account and business account, the columns. So this custom settings, global account search settings, this contains two fields. One is business account field, one is person account fields. Now this person account field contains all the field API name separated by comma. So you can see account number, owner name, owner.name, comma, industry. These are the business account fields and these are the person account fields. And these custom settings have these two fields of type text. To view these details, you can see the custom account type is hierarchy. So to create custom settings, you just have to navigate to custom settings and click on new button, and you can fill up all these and create the custom settings object. So it will be treated like custom object. Now going with this design of the page, we first create the style. Okay, this style has been created to define the page block section. So we create one div tag and within this div tag we create another div tag. So div tag is nothing but the division, and use the div tag ID as this CSS properties and set the name as account selection option. We save it. Now you can see one page block section has been created. Now we are going to create one table. Okay, now we set some style CSS for this table as width is equal to 100 and style with some padding top, padding bottom. Okay, then we set the T body and within this T body we create one TR, and within this TR we create the TD, which is the column. Now in the TD we create the label as account type selection. So first it will select what account type you are going to search for. It should be business account or person account. So we have to create the select list. So in the next column we place that select list. So for that we need to define one select list and one string which will hold the value for selected value from the select list. So we place the select list here, and within this select list the multi select is false and size is 1, so it will display only one at a time, and value is this. So whatever value will be selected from the list, it will store into this string. Now within this select list we need to place the select options. Options should be multiple, so we use this options tag, and the value is the list of select options. So this value we select. Okay. Now we do the save. You can see the select list is created. Now we need to do the modification on the TD as align is equal to right and width is equal to 45%, so that it will have a proper alignment. Now we need to put some values into this list of options. So for that first we need to define a new list of select options, and within this we need to put these values. So here is the key for person account as person account, and the label is person account, and for business account this business account. So we have a list of details here. Okay, so whatever value will be selected, it will be selected there. Now selected type we place as person account. So whenever page will be loaded, the constructor will be loaded and selected type should be populated with this person account. Next we set another layout section as account search options. So different search criteria will be defined here. We create this table, the same table structure we are going to use, so that the alignment should be fine, properly aligned, and these are the different tags. Within these tables we will use the criteria, different search criteria which will be used for global search. Different search criteria like industry, parent account, all these. So for person account the fields should be different, and for business account the display fields should be different. Okay, so the table has been created. Now within this TD tag we create one label which is defined as output text, the search string, and we need to create the radio buttons. So to create the radio buttons we need to create same as list of select options, and the selected radio button value will be stored into this string exact match contents. So we put the values into this radio button select options as content match and exact match. Now we create the same select list here. So we replace this select list with select radio. Okay, so it will display exact match or contents. So those will be displayed as a radio button. So whichever value you select, it will be selected from this select list and will be stored into this string exact match. So these are the match options. One is select one is exact and another is contents here. Okay, so we save it. Okay, it should be ending with radio options. Select radio. Okay, so we can see there are two radio buttons came. Now we need to place another TD within which will create the input text. So to define the input text, we need to create one string which will hold the typed value. Okay, this account name search string, which is string variable, so it will hold the text value typed into the VF page. So we create here one apex input text and place the value as this. Okay, now we save it. Now we can see that it has been properly created. Now we need to create one align is equal to left, and we need to style as padding top 10, so it will look better. So whenever you are designing any page, you need to always consider the CSS properties. So one text box has been created which will hold the typed value for exact and content match search of account names. Okay, now we define for different search criteria the variables we define, like account type, phone, all these. So these are the different criteria has been created with input text, input field. You can see the attached file for this code. So these are the different search criteria has been created. Now we are going to create one map of string and list of string. Map of string, list of string. Okay, this will help to store what are the different values for this person account and business account columns. Okay, we use these two fields. If we go to the manage, we can see that these two fields are holding the columns for person account search and columns for business account search. So we will access the values of those two fields using this functionality. We create one object of this custom settings by typing get instance. So this object name is equal to this dot get instance, and we are going to split by comma of those field. So using this syntax, we can access the field value directly and split by comma as those values are separated by comma, and store into the list of strings. So it will return whenever split with specific character, it will return the list of string or array of string. Okay, so this array of string holds the person account fields. Now we do the same for business account fields also. So if we use the field API name like this, then it will get the custom settings field value directly, and we can access them by using this functionality, this method. So now we have a two list of string of person account and business account. Now we are going to put this into the map with some key. So key should be like this: account type. So on changing of value of account type pick list into the VF page, it will return the specific list of string, which will be the columns for those person account or business account. So if account type returns person account, then it will return the list of person account fields, and the same for business account. Okay, so those are key. Based on this key value, it will return the list of string, list of columns. So we will use that into the VF page. Okay, now we are going to create one flag, boolean flag, so that based on the person account or business account selection from account type, the search criteria will be displayed, because some search criteria might not be available for person account or business account. So we use this flag to hide the render into the field. So based on this selection, we use Apex action support to re-render the page. So once the page is re-rendered, then the columns will be displayed based on this flag value. So we use the action support event as on change, and action is specific method which will execute this boolean flag value true or false. Okay, so we have to write one method, public page reference, or you can use void. Page reference used for another purpose, but we mostly use page reference, and it will return null. So we use these two search criteria, two if conditions. One is if selected account type is person account or selected account type is business account, then set the contact selection flag as equal to true or false. Okay, so if person account is true, then flag is true, and if person account is false, then flag is false. Now we use render option. Okay, so based on this selection, the flag value will be set, and for these such criteria, few such criteria will be displayed for business account, because business account will not have any parent account. So this parent account we don't require in the search criteria. Okay, and the same is for phone also. Phone is not required for business account search criteria. So whenever this flag value will be false, those fields will not be displayed. But in the constructor we have defined this field value as true, so when page will be loaded, those fields will be displayed, because the account type value will be person account. So you can see that the fields are displayed properly based on the value is changed, criteria fields. Okay, so based on this change, the field will be displayed. Now we going to define one page block to display the search result in a separate section, and we set the title as search result. Okay, Now in this search result we use Apex output panel. So output panel helps to re-render very specific area. Okay, so we set the ID as panel 1. So using this ID you can do the re-render, so that change value will be reflected properly. Now within this output panel we create one table. Okay, so one table has been created. Within this table we create the tr, which is the row, and these are the header th, table header. I place first name, and then we use the apex repeat to display the remaining columns. So now apex repeat will be used to display the columns value based on the selection of account type, which could be person account, which could be business account. So this is the map we are going to use here, and after that, to access the values of the map based on the key value, this is the key value which will be selected based on the account type selection, we use this syntax: third bracket and then the key value, and where should be, for example, call. So based on this selected account type, the return value would be list of columns, which could be business account or person account based on this account selection, and th should be output text and these calls. Okay, now we do the save. Now let's see if it is working properly. We can see that based on this person account the value has been selected, and this business account the values has been changed. So it's working properly. Okay, now we do some css for this th. So search result th, we set the id as search result th, and these are the different css. So it will help to display the result more colorful way. Okay, now if we do the save, we can see the search result is displayed properly. Now the diff condition we need to change it here, end it here, because the width of this table is very low. So if we set another div here with style as padding top as 30px, the result will be shown more properly. So you can see the name, these are the person account fields, and now these are the business account fields, which are displayed more proper way. So this is how we can change the columns more dynamically based on the pick list value change from the VF page. Okay, then we defined another method, which is the main method, as global search action. So this method will help to search the accounts which is not in my territory or not accessible due to the role hierarchy or due to the OWD. Okay, so we create one apex command button here. So on clicking on this command button, it will execute the method go search global search action, and within that method the global search functionality will be written. So and it will re-render the output panel so that the result will be displayed properly. So To design this global search functionality, we use one string which will help to store the SOQL query. So we are going to execute the SOQL query based on the string. Now if the selection is person account, so first we are going to write the search code for person account. So it should be, the string has to be modified by writing select id comma name. Then we are going to use those columns which will be selected dynamically and coming from this custom settings. So if we want to use that, we have to make this object as public, as global, and here we use that custom settings dot field. So it will access all those fields separated by comma, so that SOQL search query will be written properly. And here you need to place space from account where record type id is equal in record type id in. Now this is the query within query, inner query. So it will return a list of IDs of record type. So it will validate the list of it will validate if the record type ID is within this ID. So we use the developer name, which is the unique, to search this record type, person account record type, bank customer. Okay. So the query would be like, it select these columns from account where record type ID in this list of IDs, but it will return only one ID, and active is equal to yes. So we always have to remember the syntax for quote. You can see we have skipped the quote this way, because whenever you are writing query in workbench as well like this, you have to always remember the quotation, single quote. Okay. So the query has been written, and we have to use this search string as well for checking that if there is any value within this search string or not. So to check the search string null or no value, it is written like this. We use the AND condition for null checking. Okay. So it check if the query string is not null, then it checks what kind of radio button it is selected, it contains or exact. So first we are going to check for contain. Okay. So the selected value will have to be defined here first, so that on loading of this page it will be selected. Okay. So it will first check which radio button is selected. Is it contain match? If yes, then it will search, it will write this dynamic query this way, that string SOQL is equal to string SOQL plus and name is equal name like, because it contains, so contains always written with like condition, like. Then we skip the code and we use the ampersand, then plus this value. So it would be it would be like name, then within this quote ampersand and the string. Okay, so now the SOQL query string has been written this way. So if any value is written into the account search input field, input text field, and any options of contains or match is selected, then this will be executed. Now we write the same for exact match. So for exact match, the name should be is equal to, and this ampersand will be gone. So name is equal to, within this quote, the search string. Okay, it should be exact match, so that whoever who is doing the search can make sure that this is the search. Also you can include unique ID into the search criteria as well. Okay, now this has been done for person account. Now we are going to implement the same for business account. So for business account, we have to define some extra criteria, extra functionality, like record type name should be different. Like for person account it has before. So record type name should be this, business account, and remaining should be same. Okay, so it will return only those accounts based on the search result, and this field should be different because it will return it will request for those business account fields, which will be into the custom settings separated by comma. Okay, now let's write another condition for account dot industry. Okay, so search criteria should be the industry. So it will check whether the industry value which has been selected from the list of values pick list is not null. So first we need to always check is not null to create the dynamic query string, this query string. So if it is not null, then query string will be added with these conditions. Because if for example, this the advantage of writing the query this way, because if for business account, if account search string is null, but still it will check for the industry if anything selected. So it will search for only industry. If both are selected, then it will concatenate first the name, then industry. So the query string would be written like name is equal to this and industry is equal to this. Okay, now we do the search in person account for phone. So first it will check the values for phone. If not null, that will concatenate the phone. So this is the advantage of writing the query this way, creating generating the query in a dynamic way, only because this option. So search functionalities are written like this. Okay, so we have created the dynamic search string for industry, for name. Okay, so now we need to use the, so till now we have just generated the query string. Okay, so this query string we need to execute for record return based on this query string. So the list of account was created, empty list of account. Now we are going to store the return result into this list of accounts. So it should be like database.query, which is the main global search functionality. So it is the main syntax for global search functionality. Database.query, then query string. So the dynamically generated query string will execute here and will return list of accounts. Okay, so this is the global search syntax. Okay, so list of accounts has been returned. Now we are going to use that list into the VF page. So for that we need to create another repeat. So we write the repeat now, apex repeat, where the value is those list of accounts which has been returned based on the search string executed, and where is the abbreviation or alias, so that we can use it for query, to reference into the record display. Now for this td we create another css which is the search result td. Okay, so for search result we use this td, we use this css as a id of td. Now we use the apex output link to display the name of the accounts. So in this output link we use a.name and the link should be as a value, so it should be /a.id. So whenever it will be clicked, it will redirect you to the account detail page. Now next td will be the remaining columns. So for that we need to create another apex repeat. So it's like repeat within repeat. So this apex repeat will generate list of columns. Okay, so these tds will be generated dynamically based on the account columns. So we define the value as this account columns, the same. So it will return list of accounts, list of account fields in string format. So where should be cold th. Now based on these columns, and the return result would be like API names. So we use account records and then third bracket and the field names. So using this syntax we can access the account records based on a specific field value. Now this error is because this list has not been declared globally. So first we need to define it into the global section, and then we need to allocate the memory into the constructor, and then only we can access these fields, access this variable. So we define here into the global variable, and then allocate the memory in the constructor, and here also for every time clicking on search button it will return the value. Okay, you can see the values has been created. Now if we click on next, we'll get the error because we need to reset the list of accounts every time we change the account type. So that's why we need to place that, we can need to reset the list of accounts. Okay, now if you do the search, it will return result. Oh, it should be like we have done some mistakes, but it is still returning the result. So we can see number of accounts. So for that, we change the tr place from outside to inside repeat. Okay, so now if you do the save and try to do the search of business accounts, we can see the list of result of business accounts. Okay, so this is how the global search functionalities works. Okay, so it's returning the result and storing into the list of accounts, and based on the value change, the account is returned. Now we are going to introduce the wrapper class. You can see the use of wrapper class into our next another video, so that we can access the specific accounts and do some operations. So we need to use the wrapper class, declare the wrapper class globally. Okay, we are defining one list of wrapper class, here, and this is renamed as underscore wrp. Okay, we need to use the same variable into the constructor to allocate the memory, and also we need to define here. Okay, so memory has been allocated. Now to use the same, we comment out from the visualforce page first the old variable reference and then delete it from the controller. Always we need to remember, whenever any variable has been used into the VF page, first comment out the referencing from the VF page and then change it to controller. Okay, so we define this this variable as local variable within this method, and then we write one for loop to assign those return result accounts to the wrapper class. So wrapper is like checkbox and accounts. Okay, so it will create one collection data types of checkbox and accounts, so we can simply identify those accounts which are checked or which are unchecked. Okay, using that wrapper variable. So in this for loop, we use the wrapper list dot add new this wrapper class name, and within this this is the constructor, so we use the this value. Okay, so now wrapper list is it is contain all the list of accounts returned. Okay, we need to use the wrapper here wrapper list, and need to define the list type as wrapper D, okay, which was previously defined. Now if we do the save, we need to use it into the VF page now. So we use it into the VF page like this. So for more explanation on wrapper, we have a very advanced video on wrapper, how does this wrapper class works. You can see. So this is the ACC. So you use the wrapper variable dot ACC, this w dot ACC, and comment out the section, okay. So it should be also like ACC, w dot ACC. So account ID will be fetched, and this is would be like w dot ACC, okay. Now we do the save, okay. Now if we do the search, we can see it has been returned. Now we need to place the checkbox. So to define this, we create another table header here before the name. So we set the header value as 5%, width is 5%, and this is select, label as select. Then into the tr also we set the value as, it should be apex input checkbox, and the value should be wrapper dot checkbox. So w dot checkbox, which has been defined into the wrapper class, okay. Okay, it should be double quote here, and it should be input. So we have to use the input checkbox. Now if you do the save, we can see the return result having one checkbox. Okay, we need to set the width as 5% for the return result also. Now if we do the search, we can see the business account also returned with some checkboxes. Now to utilize the returned result, or utilize the return result value which has been checkbox, we can use the wrapper variable. Now for search functionality, this is the status. We can check the search status, that how long it is taking for search, using the status in command button, status parameter. So we just have to set here. If we do the search, now we can see searching is done, okay. So you can see that the results, return result is from different owner also, and it's stored into the wrapper class. So you can use this wrapper variable to change the owner. Just run a for loop and store and update the account by changing its owner. So we provide the visualforce access to this profile from here, and then login using the user test2, okay. Now if we go to that page, we can see person account and the business account also. The columns are changed dynamically. and we can do the search of different owners account which is not accessible to this user. And also we can do the checkbox, and based on the checked value we can iterate the wrapper variable for each and every wrapper record and access the account and also update the account. Now this is the search functionality. Okay, it should be person account. And from this data change request also we can use that page in a lookup link, and we can do the search. So in our next video you will find this lookup linking to custom web page, and on clicking the returned result we can access it. Now this is the DCR record. Based on the DCR record you can do the update. Thank you very much. If you like this video, share it, like our Facebook page. Thank you.